Ladies and gentlemen, you are not here by accident. You were not born randomly. You didn't survive the betrayal, the abandonment, the silent seasons, and the spiritual warfare just to be another person on this earth. You are chosen. And that changes everything. The moment God marked you, he placed on you a distinction that hell can't erase and man can't ignore. You may not have come from a perfect background. You might not have had the support others had, but when God chooses you, he bypasses all earthly qualifications to fulfill a heavenly agenda. You're carrying something sacred, something set apart. The reason people didn't understand you, the reason they couldn't figure you out, or why doors shut in your face, is because you're not like everyone else. You've been set apart for something greater. You carry a spiritual signature that heaven recognizes and hell fears. You've been chosen to do something only you can do. You've been assigned a role in this generation that no one else can fulfill quite like you. It's not ego, that's calling. And calling isn't always comfortable. In fact, it's usually painful. The chosen are often the most attacked, not because they're weak, but because they're dangerous to darkness. Your identity threatens systems. Your faith disrupts patterns. Your voice is the sound of awakening. That's why you've been through more than most people can handle, because your destiny is heavier than most people can carry. But still, here you are. Not broken, not finished, not buried, still standing, still breathing, still believing. That right there is your proof. You're chosen. Chosen ones don't look for validation. They move from revelation. You don't need a seat at their table when heaven already built a throne for you to sit in. You don't need people to approve what God already anointed. You don't need to explain your process to those who were never part of your promise. Stop doubting what he's doing in you just because it's unfamiliar. Chosen people walk paths that haven't been paved. They go first. They take territory. They step into rooms not yet ready for them and speak things into existence that don't yet make sense. That's your identity. You're not common. You're not average. You're not just surviving. You were selected, called out, and raised up for a purpose greater than your comfort zone. You carry oil. You carry wisdom. You carry generational change. When you walk into a room, things shift. Not because of who you are, but because of who sent you. You've been assigned. You've been backed by heaven. And when God chooses someone, he doesn't need to consult man's opinion. He chooses what the world calls the least and makes them rulers over much. He picks the ones nobody saw coming and puts them in positions no one can block. So if you feel overlooked, misunderstood, or underestimated, good. That's usually where the chosen ones live, right? Before God reveals them. Because the season of being hidden is not punishment, it's protection. God hides what he values until it's time to unveil it. And make no mistake, your unveiling is coming. You've been trained in obscurity, tested in silence, and proven in the dark. But the time is coming where the world will see what heaven already knew, that you are chosen, called, set apart, and ready for everything that's coming. You just win a blessing, you carry one. You are the blessing. And God is about to use you in a way that will make it impossible for anyone to deny you were chosen from the start. The blessing you carry is not random. It is evidence. Evidence that God's hand is on your life. Evidence that you've been trusted with divine favor. Not because you're perfect, but because you stayed. You didn't quit when it hurt. You didn't give up when it got dark. You didn't walk away when nobody clapped. And that's exactly why the blessing is finding you now. The world sees what's happening in your life, and thinks it's luck. They think it's chance. They think it's coincidence. But you know better. It's favor. Favor is when God breathes on something and makes it flourish faster, bigger, and more powerfully than it should by natural standards. It's when doors open that you didn't knock on. When opportunities show up that you didn't apply for. When people bless you and they don't even know why. Favor is divine influence. It's heaven's yes on your life that no man can turn into a no. And when you carry favor, everything changes. You don't have to chase what God already declared yours. Favor brings it to you. That's why you've seen relationships fall away, why circles have grown smaller, and why rooms that once welcomed you have gone silent. Because when favor increases, friction exposes. People around you can sense when you've been upgraded in the spirit, even before you can explain it in the natural. Favor disrupts comfort zones. It exposes jealousy. It provokes confusion. And it accelerates destiny. Because when God favors you, he doesn't do it quietly. He makes it known. Think about it. When David was anointed, oil didn't fall on all his brothers. It only flowed when the chosen one stood before the prophet. When Esther stepped into favor, she didn't just become queen. She rewrote history for an entire nation. That's what favor does. It doesn't just bless you. It blesses everything connected to you. You don't have favor just for yourself. You carry favor for your family, your community, your generation. And make no mistake, this favor wasn't free. It cost you something. You had to suffer silently. You had to keep going when it felt like God was nowhere to be found. You had to smile through tears, worship through pain, and walk through fire. That wasn't just endurance, that was proof of trust. God doesn't favor the lazy. He favors the faithful. He looks for hearts that still believe even when nothing is working. That's why you're stepping into what others are still praying for. Because you didn't just want the blessing, you were willing to be built for it. Now the shift has started. The heavens are responding, the oil is flowing, and the evidence is about to show up in ways that nobody can deny. People who walked away from you will hear about you. Places that rejected you will reach back out. Environments that ignored you will try to copy you, and they'll ask, how did it happen? But you know, it wasn't you. It wasn't strategy. It wasn't your resume. It was favor. You didn't force your way in. You were sent in. You didn't fight for validation. You already had it from heaven. The blessing on your life is undeniable now. The kind of favor that doesn't just open doors, it builds new rooms. The kind of blessing that doesn't just answer prayer, it shifts bloodlines. This isn't a moment. This is a movement. And you are the proof. Hold your head high and move with confidence. Because everything that's about to happen next isn't a surprise. It's a sign that you are favored, called, chosen, and ready. The blessing you carry is not luck. It is legal. Heaven approved it. Hell couldn't stop it. And now the world will witness it. There comes a moment in every chosen one's life when what was spoken finally becomes visible. When the promise that kept you going through sleepless nights begins to take form. When the vision that felt like fantasy starts showing up in your reality. And I came to tell you that moment is now. This is not just another season. This is the time of manifestation. What you cried for, prayed for, fasted for, it's coming into the physical realm. No more delay. This is when faith meets fulfillment. You've carried prophecies in your spirit for years. You've had dreams that refused to die no matter how much disappointment tried to bury them. You've walked through fire with only a whisper from God keeping you alive. And even when everything around you said give up, something inside said hold on. That something was destiny speaking. Because what God starts, he finishes. And now everything you've been carrying in the spiritual is about to be born in the natural. Step into what was already yours. It's just now being delivered. This is your due date. Understand this. Manifestation doesn't mean ease. It means alignment. It means things are shifting to match what God already ordained. The reason you're seeing strange moves, sudden exits, and unexpected upgrades is because the spiritual is colliding with the physical. The blueprint of heaven is finally being constructed on the earth. And your life is the building site. Notice, you are not crazy for believing what hasn't yet happened. You are prophetic. Because God shows he's chosen what's coming before the crowd sees it. You were never waiting on the blessing. The blessing was waiting on you to be ready. Waiting on your character to be tested. Your integrity to be proven. Your posture to be purified. And now that you've passed what others couldn't survive, it's time. This is when the years of labor start producing fruit. The prayers you forgot you prayed are being answered. The seeds you sowed in secret are coming back as harvests in public. What you sow in pieces is about to come together in power. What you heard in private is about to be announced in public. And it won't be subtle. It will be supernatural. God doesn't manifest small. He doesn't release halfway. When he moves, it shakes systems, changes lives, and establishes glory. That's why this moment is so critical. Because it's not just about what you're receiving. It's about who you're becoming in the process. The manifestation isn't the end. It's the launch pad for everything that's next. Your visibility is connected to your victory. And your manifestation is tied to your mission. People will ask you, how did this happen so fast? They won't understand the years you spent in the dark. They won't know the tears, the sacrifices, the spiritual warfare. But God does. That's why he's rewarding you now, publicly. Because you endured privately. You honored him when it hurt. You stayed pure when no one was watching. And now heaven is responding with manifestation more than. So prepare. Not just emotionally. Prepare practically. Make room. Make space. Clear your schedule. Rebuild your faith. It's here. You're not waiting anymore. It's already in motion. You're stepping into the fullness of what was always yours. This is a time of manifestation. And you, chosen one, are ready. Maybe speak this clearly. We are in the middle of a divine wealth transfer. This isn't just a trend or a feel-good phrase. It's a prophetic event. The heavens have shifted and resources are being rerouted. What the world built for wickedness, God is reclaiming for righteousness. And the chosen ones are the carriers of that transfer, not because they begged for it, but because they were prepared to steward it. The billions that are being released aren't for flex, they're for fulfillment. They are coming to establish God's kingdom, fund his agenda, and shake nations. The wealth isn't just coming in money, it's coming in influence, land, ideas, platforms, innovation, ownership, and strategy. Some of you are about to inherit things you didn't build. Walk into boardrooms you didn't apply for. Get keys to buildings you didn't buy. That's not magic. That's not manipulation. That's prophecy unfolding. God is putting power in the hands of the pure. Influence in the hands of the faithful. Ownership in the hands of the chosen. This is what the word says. The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. That means there's been a divine storage room holding what was rightfully yours until the time was right. And guess what? The time is now. What was locked is being released. What was hidden is being exposed. What was withheld is being transferred. But it's not going to those who are just greedy for gain. It's going to those who are aligned with God's government. You are being trusted with the tools to fund freedom, to break generational cycles, to shift the culture, to build institutions, to create systems that reflect heaven on earth. God isn't just giving wealth, he's releasing authority. This is not about being rich. This is about ruling. This is about reclaiming lost territory, restoring family structures, rebuilding education, reimagining business, and reviving the spirit of excellence that the kingdom was always meant to carry. Some of you are wondering why you've been dreaming so big, why business ideas won't lead your spirit, why land keeps coming up in your prayers, why partnerships keep aligning out of nowhere. It's because God is preparing you for impact beyond imagination. The billions are not a fantasy. They are your assignment. But God won't give it to you just to spend it. He's giving it so you can send it, invest it, sow it, multiply it, expand the territory. And yes, this will make people uncomfortable. It will make religious minds question your motives. It will make prideful systems try to discredit your anointing. But let them talk, because while they're questioning your blessing, you'll be building God's blueprint. While they're stuck in tradition, you'll be walking in manifestation. Because the ones who stayed hidden, the ones who stayed holy, the ones who stayed humble, are the ones God is about to elevate publicly. So here's your instruction. Get ready. Not just in spirit, but in structure. Create capacity. Get your systems in order. Get your hands clean and your heart right. Because wealth is not a reward, it's a responsibility. And the transfer will only stick where stewardship lives. This is not the season to play small. It's the season to build big. Because billions are not coming later. They are moving now. Others will give of vessels, not vultures. For builders, not beggars. For visionaries, not just dreamers. And if you're reading this with a witness in your spirit, you are one of them. You are part of the remnant that will carry the weight of this prophetic wealth wave. You were chosen. And the transfer has already started. There is a supernatural speed coming to your life. And it's called divine acceleration. What used to take years will happen in months. What others built in decades, you will see in a matter of days. Why? Because when God puts his hand on time, he doesn't operate by man's calendar. He overrides systems, bypasses delay, and performs what no effort alone can achieve. Chosen ones are about to experience a level of movement that will make people question the laws of time itself. This is not hype, this is prophetic alignment. Your wait was never a waste. It was the setup for suddenly. Have you been faithful for so long it felt like nothing would ever change? You've seen others rise while you were still planting. You've celebrated others while waiting your turn. But let me tell you, your turn is not just coming, it's arriving with speed. God is not just releasing blessing, he's doing it quickly. What was stuck is being unstuck. What was stagnant is gaining momentum. What was delayed is now divinely accelerated. This is what the Spirit of God is doing in this season. He is redeeming time. That means the years you thought were lost, the seasons that looked wasted, the opportunities that slipped through your fingers, they're all coming back, but with interest. He's multiplying what should have taken decades. He's restoring what was stolen in a fraction of the time. The tables are turning faster than you can explain. And this time, you won't have to hustle to make it happen. It will come to you because you are in divine alignment. Divine acceleration doesn't mean skipping the process. It means God gets involved in the process. And when he does, mountains move. Delays break. Red Seas part. Jericho walls fall overnight. The Bible is full of people who went from overlooked to overqualified in a moment. Joseph went from prison to palace in a day. Esther went from orphan to king after one battle. That same supernatural flow is coming to you. People around you won't understand how fast it happens. They'll say, weren't you just starting out? Didn't you just come through a storm? How did you get here so quick? But they didn't see the years you spent in the dark. They didn't see the pain, the pressure, the preparation. God saw it all. And now he's answering all at once. Divine acceleration isn't about luck. It's about timing. And you just stepped into Kairos, the set time of heaven. The speed is not natural. So don't expect natural minds to comprehend it. This is what happens when obedience collides with heaven's calendar. You will build faster, rise higher, heal quicker, recover stronger, and step into more than your age, experience, or education could ever justify. Why? Because you are chosen. And when chosen ones get activated, time has to obey the command of God. Well, here's the call. Get in position. Be sensitive to divine instruction. Say yes quickly. Move in faith, because doors are opening that will not stay open long. Opportunities are passing by that you must catch in motion. And what you do in this window of acceleration will shape the next 7 to 10 years of your life. This is your launching season, your moment of divine propulsion. What took others a lifetime will come to you by grace. And not because you earned it, but because God ordained it. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time. And now, time is working for you.